morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday live stream. We do these live streams every Sunday and Wednesday. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
I was just saying a little bit about the live streams for everyone who's joining or anyone who's new. We do these every Sunday and Wednesday, and today we have a special guest to join us. We're talking about planning strategies, and I was mentioning to Stacy earlier that I think it's something we could probably talk about for hours. So there's your planner. What notebook is that, Stacy?
This is a Filofax pocket notebook, and it's refillable, which is super cool, which I love.
Wow.
So the pages can come out and go right back in.
That's so cool. Well, I'm really excited to see more of your notebooks, and thanks for giving us a glimpse into your planner.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
And I guess before we start, I'm going to also flip my camera around and show some of my spreads as well. I think it'll be fun to compare. But I had a couple of questions I think are relevant to start off with. First of all, a bit of an intro. So Stacy, can you tell us a bit about what you do here in the online space? Like what sort of stuff do you share on your Instagram, and you also have a YouTube channel?
Well, I love planning and books and journaling. That's basically what I share. I share some inappropriate memes as well.
I follow you on my Mistral Spirit account, and you always pop up first because I always look through those. They're like the best collection of memes.
Yeah, they're quite inappropriate, but they're funny. They make me laugh, and I hope that they bring a smile to everybody else who follows me, who's my friend. Yeah, I just like to, this is my space to share all the things that I love. And especially planning an analog system, all that is just my favorite stuff in the whole world.
Yeah, they definitely bring a smile to my face too. And your spreads are so nice. I think it's so cool seeing accounts that just share like an insight into their planning or their studying. I'm a university student, so that's very motivating, but it's also a little bit tricky because I found, at least when I share my planning spreads, there are some things that you want to maybe keep private. How do you do that? I don't think you blur much out, do you?
I don't blur anything out. Honestly, I'm an open book. I don't share anything. I don't put anything too private in my journal. So I'm not, there's nothing that I need to put in there that I need to blur. So, I mean, yes, I will blur out my daughter's school if I have anything in there for her school. But other than that, I don't blur anything out. I'm an open book. It is what it is. You know, there's really nothing I blur out. So, meh.
That's awesome. I mean, that makes sense. And the last thing I wanted to also ask is, what sort of things do you actually plan for? I think that's a really relevant thing to start off with, because my planning has changed personally since I was in high school to when I'm working on university. I'm about to graduate in a few months from my undergrad.
Exciting.
When you're working, it's, different way that you might want to plan. So how do you plan, or what do you plan for currently?
Okay, so my notebook is everything. It's not just a planner. It is literally my life book. It is my journal. It is my planner. It's all in one. It's the only way I can function. I am right now, currently, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't have work to plan for, but I do have Addie's stuff, my daughter Addie. I have a lot of stuff for her going on, and so that helps me. It helps me stay organized for her stuff. Also, I've been using my planner for my YouTube prep. I'm not as active as I would like to be on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to start trying to ramp that up a little. But I use it just to stay organized with my day-to-day stuff. And like I said, I use it for everything. I can't function. I see all these people and I love it. They all in our community that they have like 5 different books for different things. And I have tried to do that and I have failed every single time. It needs to be in one book. And that's why I find it so much easier to be able to have everything with me all at once, all the time. So yeah, I don't really have much to plan for, but I have like vacations, Addie stuff, and it's all in there organized, which makes me happy.
That's a lot of stuff already. I mean, I know when I was growing up, like there's all these activities to keep track of and stuff like that. So that's awesome. And I
Yeah.
was keeping it all in one notebook too.
Yes, I found that I don't see too many people that do that, which I find interesting because it is literally the only way I can survive. I have like I said, I have tried to plan in more than one book, and I literally, one will always get neglected. I won't ever pick it up. And I don't know. I don't know why everybody doesn't do this.
When you've tried to do it in multiple books, what have you kept them for?
Okay, so I have tried one for like planning and schedules, timed events, stuff like that. Another for journaling, one for gratitude. So I've had like 3 or 4 at a time, and I literally cannot, I can't do it. I only need one. I do have a second journal that I work with. It's my Let's of London 5-year journal, which I have been loving and I've been keeping up with. So that is the only other book other than my little Filofax notebook that I use currently. But that's different because it's, you know, they only have the little blurbs because it's the 5-year, and I find that much easier to deal with.
That's the Q&A one? They have like little prompts? What do you mean by
No, it doesn't have, hold on. I have it here.
You have it here?
Yeah, of course.
Do you want to flip? You can show some of the different notebooks that you've got.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's my favorite thing. So this is my Let's of London. This is the 5-year notebook. Journal, excuse me. Hold on. I'm going to put this on my stand so I have both of my hands ready to go. Okay. So this is their 5-year journal. Let me open it up. This is fantastic. I love this. I don't have any of this filled in. So I ordered this. I got this a little bit into January. So as you can see, it's got, so you can put in what year, and then the dates up here. And then you can add, so it's for 5 years. So the journaling part is literally, it's just a few lines, which I love. And I have been keeping up with it so well. I'm so proud of myself.
Wow. That's such a smart idea. I think it's a planner normally, right? But you're using it kind of as a journal?
No, this is their 5-year journal.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's
actually literally just their 5-year journal, and it's great. Here, let me show you a blank page so you can see. So it's got the date up here, and then you fill in what year, and then you keep it for 5 years, which I love.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so there's that. I have, do you want to see some more notebooks, or you want to see this notebook?
I'm just going to type in the chat for everyone watching. I'm curious what everyone else plans for. It's like always really interesting to see how the different strategies change depending on what you're planning for. So I'm just going to type that in.
Oh, absolutely.
You can go ahead and start showing through the Filofax. It won't take
Okay. So basically, I use, I call it a modified bullet journal method. Because I see people using the bullet journal, but it's very shorthand, most of the stuff that I see. I don't see a ton of people really journaling a lot with it. I know that Randy.plans, she does a kind of a bullet journal method, and she will journal a lot in hers, but I don't see too many people doing it like me, but we'll get into that. So the bullet journal method has worked so well for me. I find that it's very organized, and it fits everything because it fits my to-dos and my journaling. So something that's very important is the setup. So I like having my inbox. This is like my running to-do list kind of, and I'll just put everything on here, and then I'll cross it off as soon as it gets done. I have my key. I'll do a little close-up of this. So I added this new one down here. I can't remember who I saw that had this, oh my goodness, the idea icon, but I thought that was such a great one. So I added that. I haven't used it yet.
I love your signifiers. So you started originally, I recognize the first few are from the bullet journal system, and then
yes,
years you've adapted for yourself?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So
Pardon.
I just added some little ones for me that, things that are important to me in my life, you know? So I love that. Love my key. And then I just get right into my future log, which is so, so important because it has everything in it. This is what I use to, when I set up my monthlies, I reference back to my future log for everything that I need. So the future log is super important in all of my journals.
For anyone who doesn't know what a future log is for, is that, from what I know, I've never used it, but it's kind of like Google Calendar in a way, like you can plan months in advance?
Yes, absolutely. So you set up January, February, and you can do it in any sort of layout that you want. It's great. You customize it to what works best for you. So here I'll have the date and then what the event is. And then, so you can even go back. So see, this is something for the second that I've written down here, because you just add things on as you go. And as long as you reference back to it, like when you go to your month, as long as you reference back to it, you'll see all the dates. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I clarified that you've got like the second farther down there as well. Like it's literally just chronological. You don't need to, try and keep it in some kind of order.
No, exactly. You just write it down as it comes, and then you just know to look at the dates, as you're referencing it to put it into your calendar.
Yeah.
And that works for me. I'm sure that there's another way to do it, but this is just the way that I do it, and it has been fantastic. So I have everything in here, and I'm sure I could color code or reference my little icons for like birthdays and such, but it works for, I like to keep things simple. The simpler, the better. You know what I'm saying?
And Stacy, someone asked about the key system. Do you have a photo of that anywhere on your Instagram or your YouTube channel that we can share?
I absolutely do. If you go back, it's probably from a few weeks ago or maybe last week. I have a picture of my key. So yes, there is one on my IG feed. Okay,
perfect. And going to the future log, so have you ever tried using a digital system, and why do you go with an analog system? Are there, like, would you say there are some certain benefits to it that you wouldn't have in a digital?
For me, yes. The way my mind works, it helps when I write things down. That's just the way my mind works. Yes, I have used my digital system. I use my my Google Calendars, the calendar app. I use that. I used to use it more often, but my brain works better when it's written down. When it's in front of me, I see it and I write it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just me. Everybody's different, and I love this. This makes me so happy. Looking back at my notebook.
Yes. Do you decorate them as well?
I do. So I have gone through the years that I've been in this community. So I have some little decorations here. I've gone through the gamut of ridiculous, here. So this was one of my first notebooks. As you can see, so this was before I had any rhyme and reason to what kind of system I wanted to use. As you can see, there it is, like deco threw up in here. So there's a lot, but we could show more of that later. But yes, I do decorate. I've been leaning more towards minimal stickers, and on my pictures, obviously that's one of my favorite things to add in my journals is photos of my day-to-day life, things that happen. So that makes me really happy. That's another thing I don't think I've seen in bullet journals as often.
The photos?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, when I look at people's bullet journals, I see a lot of artistic stuff or very minimal. There are a few people that I've seen that have photos in theirs, but I haven't seen like a ton, Do you keep photos in yours?
I was just gonna say I tried it for a little while. Like there's a photo and there's one as well. These are ones that I took, but for me
Love
the
it.
challenge is I don't have a printer here on campus, and also I don't really like putting photos of like my family in here because then I
Okay.
take them and I I feel the need to blur them. But maybe that's the main reason people don't use photos. But I really like how they look. Like I would try
Mhm.
that more.
Yeah, no, I totally get that about some people being more private with their lives. Absolutely. That's a big thing. And I struggle with that sometimes, but at the same time, I love my family, and not that you don't love your family. Oh my God, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I mean
But
you want to keep the memories in your journal, like it's your journal.
yes, exactly. So, but yeah, so I have minimal decorations, but I do still love, I love stickers and washi tape. I have my huge, this is my travel
Mhm.
washi tape that I
Wow.
bring with me.
I would love to see that when we talk about tools.
Absolutely. That's why I have it. I am prepared.
Awesome.
Um, so another big thing that I like to keep in the beginning of my journals is my book log. The past couple of years I've been, or year actually, I guess it's only been a year or so that I've gotten really back into reading a lot.
Mhm.
So I keep my book log in here. I actually have one to add because I finished another one. Well, I finished rereading one last night. So I'm going to add that, but I love having this. So I remember, just in that like little notes, my ratings, pretty much all the books I read, I really like. So, or else I wouldn't read them.
Was that something like Ash? Something like what was it that you finished last night?
Oh, what was it? I'm rereading From Blood and Ash because The War of Two Queens just came out, and I'm very excited to read it. So I'm gonna read them real quick. And so I just finished rereading that last night. So I'm gonna add that today, and then I'm gonna start Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I'm just, oh,
Awesome.
I love it.
You're a fantasy person?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty much all I read is like fantasy, romance, and like all that sort of stuff. It's, I don't know. It's just what I like. It's my jam.
Mhm. And these kind of spreads, I'm very curious because you're using a Filofax. Do you just kind of keep them at the start and then all the other pages, when you fill up your notebook, you can take them out and
Yes.
replace blank?
So this is my first time using a notebook like this, but that is exactly what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
I plan on, so all of my, so these my inbox, my key, my future log, my book log, my movies and TV and things to check out. I'm just gonna take them right out and put them into my next journal.
That's,
So I think that is the coolest thing, and I'm super excited to try it.
yeah. I think it's such a innovative thing to be able to like keep the same spread and not have to rewrite it, which I think people usually do when it's a physical like bound notebook.
Yes, exactly. And obviously, I'm definitely going to fill this up quickly, so I can just add another page when I'm ready.
Mhm.
And I think it just works out so well. So,
Yeah,
and it's a super easy spread to make. So it literally only takes a minute to make a new one, to add to it.
yeah. And then you've got your monthlies next, or do you get straight into your to do?
Yes. So then I start with my monthlies. And so usually I would prefer my monthly to be a 2-page spread,
Mhm.
but with the size of this notebook and the 5 millimeter grid, it didn't really work out to how I wasn't really happy with it. So I just went smaller, which is totally fine. And I love it. It works out well. I mean, it's smaller than I would prefer, but it's totally workable and doable. So I really like it. And then I have some minimal decorations, a little bit of washi, a picture that I printed out from Unsplash,
Oh yeah,
Dsplash. I don't remember.
the like royalty free photos.
Yes, exactly.
What's the purpose of decorating? Maybe this is a good question to ask you because like you kind of go with more of a minimal bullet journal or planner. And
Mm-hmm.
I know like sometimes I get comments when I decorate it like this, that like, what's the point of it if it takes a lot of time? So for you doing these, adding these photos and adding some washi tape, what's the purpose of that in your planner?
It makes me happy. It brings me joy. I only put things in my journal and planner that just, when I look at them, they make me smile. I have some bullet journals where I have followed more of a artistic method. I guess like when you search bullet journal, you see all these people with these beautiful spreads and just the most gorgeous artwork. And I tried that for a while, and I love it, but I found that it takes me way too much time, like way too long to set up the. Here, I'll show you a quick example. So here's one that I started.
Oh,
So something like this is at Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year. This lettering took me forever. And then like I have these cute little doodles, you know.
so cool to
And
see you changed your style over time.
well, the thing is that it's the same. It is still the bullet journal method. So I have carried that over for over a year now, or maybe 2 years. I don't even remember, but just the layout and the size have changed really. So I still add my photos, but see this, it just takes me forever with the little doodles. And I love this. I love it so much. And when I don't have, you know, as much going on and I have more time to devote to it, I would love to do this more, but it just takes me forever. Like this one, this took forever. And I love it, but it's just, you know, it takes a long time for me because I'm artistic, but it, you know, it takes me time.
And I guess like the little washi tapes and photos are a good way to do it, to still bring you, but take a little less time.
A lot less time.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly. So it still brings me joy, but I'm not having to work really, really hard for that joy.
And in your calendar there, you keep events, right? So when you're in a certain place and where and all that.
So what was that? I'm so sorry.
So those are all like events where you have to be when.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So when I'm setting up my monthly, I reference back to my future log and I take all of the things that I have here and then I'll write them on here, just smaller. And then I'll color in, like when I have birthdays, I colored in the date. So that helps me. And then here's my South Carolina trip because we're in South Carolina currently, having a blast. It is a beautiful rainy day, my favorite. So yes, so this, all of my events are on here.
Awesome. And what's after that?
In my journal, then I go to my weekly. So this is a new layout that I just started using now that I'm in this this pocket Filofax, and I really love it. So here in the weekly, I have timed events and appointments, stuff like that. And then here I have my trackers. So this one is for Addie and her chores, and this one is mine, obviously. And I just track a few things. Honestly, I really don't need to, but I like to see it. My no spend, as you can see, is horrible. Oops.
Oops.
But yeah, so then I have my weekly and I go straight into my dailies.
Wow. The weekly, I'm curious, do you copy over from the monthly?
Yes, yes. So when I have my timed events and all that, I reference back to the monthly and I take all of the things that I have here and I will put them here just so, honestly, I probably don't need to, but I like to. I find that I find that it just helps me. The more I write things down, the better I remember.
Hmm.
So it just works out really well for me, and I can see it super easily. And the easier, the better.
Yeah. Have you
So
used different layouts for this? You mentioned that this is a fairly new layout in your Filofax. Do you have some examples of other ones that you've tried?
no, so the Filofax. So yes, I do have examples of other weekly spreads I have tried, but this is the only one I have used in this size notebook.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me show you some other weeklies. So, but the problem is that this is, yeah, let's use this A6 because it's kind of like the same. So here's another weekly layout that I've tried. I pretty much tried everything at this point, um, to be completely honest. Here's another one. So it really depends. The weekly layout really, for me, depends on what size notebook I'm in currently and what the grid is, you know, the grid size. So these are 5mm. This Stalogy is also 5mm grid. But sometimes, here we go. Here is a B6 Slim. I don't even know if I had weeklies in this one because my style adapts. So I always use my bullet journal method with pretty much the same icons, but sometimes I will have weeklies. Sometimes I won't. As you can see in this one, I used more embellishments and art. Actually, I don't even know if I have a weekly in this one. See, here's another future log. And this one I have actually color coded. And this is just another style of it.
What are the categories you use for color coding? Someone earlier actually asked, how do you key your events, I think, or...
Oh, well, that's a good question because I do not see my key in this one. Okay, so green is birthdays, the gray is for holidays, and the blue is for events. In this one. So I don't always use, and the yellow is for school. So like Addie's school events. So I don't currently use color coding, but I have in the past and I've really enjoyed it. But I find that it's just another step, you know?
Yeah.
And I like to keep things simple, as easy as possible right now. I can't say that I won't go back to it because I probably will. You know? That's my thing. I really like to just go with what I'm feeling with my journaling and planning. And if I want to switch sizes, I switch sizes. If I want to switch my like being more minimal or more artistic and collagey, then I do that. You know, so that's,
yeah.
I go with what I'm feeling at the time, but I always stick with my bullet journaling. Like it's always still here in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you'll see my icons.
It's awesome to develop a system of icons that is adaptable for everything. I relate a lot, like I say that a lot as well, that my icons have stayed the same, and I use them in my notes, not just like for tasks, but also when I'm taking notes and things like that. It's pretty much the same signifiers like you had.
Yeah. It just makes it so much easier to see what, you know, what you like, especially when you look back and you need to find something quickly. It just makes it so much easier.
Mm-hmm. And before we move on to the next thing that you wanted to show, my question for this spread here, was there any layout that you found specifically didn't work for you?
Layout meaning for like my weekly?
Yeah, for your weekly, maybe even for your monthly, but have you ever tried anything in particular that you realize like, okay, no, that doesn't work for what I'm planning for?
You know what? Well, okay. So with, like I mentioned with the monthly, when I tried to do it, a 2-page spread with the size of the grid and the size of the page, I could not do what I would normally do, which would be the month on, you know, 2 pages, a monthly spread. So that did not work. The weekly, I can pretty much get any layout to work with this, but I found that I liked this layout and I've stuck with that for, like, I could do just, you know, like a Hobonichi type weekly. I could do that as well. The weeklies are a lot easier than the monthlies, I guess you could say. But yeah, so no, there aren't that many spreads that I could not use. I can pretty much adapt my system to do any sort of layout or style, which is one of the reasons why I love the bullet journal method so much.
Yeah. Awesome. And so then you've got your dailies. Do you have other types of spreads afterwards? Or does it go from there?
Not really. So I think those are the main types of spreads that my March highlights. So normally this spread would be right behind my monthly, but when I started this, so with the pages coming out like this, I had already written on this. I didn't really know how to, it just worked this way for this month. Normally next month, I will have my April highlights directly behind my April calendar. But this is where it turned out this time. So I do a highlights. So I'll just write one line a day about my highlight of the day. Sometimes I change it to gratitude, and it'll be like, you know, one thing I'm grateful for throughout the day. But yeah, so there's that. And then content ideas. So these are just some little things that I'll add in throughout, you know, my notebook, wherever it is, and I'll tab them. So a lot of people keep an index with the bullet journal method. I find that I never, ever, ever reference back to the index. I have used an index a bunch of times, and I've never once used it. Used it as in actually gone back and be like, oh, here's my index. Let me go to this page. I just tab them, and that works for me. So I'm trying to think then there's some YouTube notes. Then there's my live stream prep. I took it out because I am not really referencing it, but I took it out in case I needed to. Oh, I still didn't fill this in. I need to do that.
What was that?
Oh no, I was just saying I need to fill this in. This is my packing list.
For the trip you're on right now?
Yes, yeah.
Love that.
Well, it's funny because I usually, let me see if I have it in here. Yes. Okay, so this is a Hobonichi cousin. But here I always like to have a list of stuff that I pack, and I will usually, so for every new notebook, I will add it. So I always have it with me. It's current, but I didn't get a chance to do that yet in this one.
People like the title you have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, it reminds me of my, my little heart.
Your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I curse a lot. I don't curse in front of my daughter, but I do curse. So, and another thing with the bullet journal layout. So, sometimes I'll add a line and I enjoy that. Sometimes I don't know what prompts me to remove the line, but sometimes I feel like I need to, and I don't need it anymore. And I like the way it looks like that, like just without it. Sometimes I'll add it back. So that's just another thing that and so here's some more decorations that I've, some little stickers and washi tape, just little stuff here and there.
Have you tried different layouts for the trackers too?
Oh, yes. Not in here, not in this current notebook, but yes, I have used, let me see if I can find some examples. Bear with me. Well, here's another book log. So this isn't exactly, that's kind of a tracker. So here's a book log that I did. So there's that. That's another different layout. Here's another weekly layout. And now, obviously, you have more. This is an A5 bullet journal. And you have way more room to play with.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know I have a tracker in here somewhere. Here's another weekly. And this one, so when I have more room, I like to do it like this. Well, it's not even if I have more room, but if I have a large weekly, I'll put all of my things to do and errands to run here. And then when I get to my journaling, then this is just really journaling things throughout the day. If I have a to-do, I put it on the weekly spread. In that's how I did this one. I don't even know where the weekly spread went. I'm sorry. Here it is.
So you keep them separate.
So yes, in this one, I did keep them separate, and I did like how that worked. See, I do still have the icons, but they're just contained in my weekly.
Yeah.
As opposed to the daily. The daily is just more journaling and stuff like that. So what I was looking for was trackers in here. I will find you some trackers. Here's a habit tracker. And then here is a sleep and mood tracker. I obviously didn't finish these because I went into another notebook, but this is how I did them here in this one.
Those ones with the numbers probably also take longer than the other ones that you have now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You write numbers out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So it definitely takes longer, but it's fun. I was just flipping through this before we came on, and I was thinking how much I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
This A5 bullet journal.
Do you flip through your journal entries often? Like how often do you go back and read them?
Oh my gosh. I don't do it too often, but when I do it, when I have time, I will go back, and I love it. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. I remember exactly what I was feeling when I wrote them, and it just brings me so much joy. I love being, and I'm hoping that my daughter will like going through and flipping through these as well. You know, I mean, I add a lot of pictures for that reason. I'm hoping that she'll enjoy seeing all this stuff. You know?
Yeah, it's so nice to have that. It's funny, like I think younger generations have more and more photos of their childhood to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Included.
Exactly.
Of course, but
yeah. But
does your daughter do any kind of journaling? Has she kind of picked up anything from you?
oh my God, she's so cute. Yes. So Addie loves journaling, and not that she can write very well. She's going to be 6 in April. And so, but she does see the things that I do. And it's funny because the other day I went upstairs to take a shower, and my husband was downstairs with her, and she took my phone and she went over to my desk with all my planner stuff, and she made a planner video, and it was so cute. I mean, she does that all the time, and with my stuff, and she'll be like, mommy's friends, this is mommy's stuff, and I'm going to show you. It's just the cutest thing in the whole world. And I really hope that she's a planner girl like me. Fingers crossed.
I love that. So
you and me both.
You'll get her in on the planning stuff too.
Oh yeah, she's already confiscated a ton of my stuff. So yeah, I have to be careful with what I leave out because she will take it.
That is very cute.
It is adorable, and it makes me really happy.
I saw someone ask, and I actually have this question too. It looked like you have some inserts in your other notebook, and then also an extension of that. What inserts do you have in your Filofax? Because I think that's a common thing. You can buy inserts, right?
Inserts meaning like pre-printed pages?
That, and I think in the other one there were some like translucent looking pages. Maybe.
Oh, you mean like vellum and acetate?
Yes, that stuff.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I love tipping in. So this is a B6stology, and there is a ton of, this is acetate. So acetate is the clear one, and vellum is the cloudy one, and I love using it. I love it. So in this notebook, I was doing my weekly, and then I would separate it from my dailies with the vellum and acetate. And I did that for a while in this, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So then here's my weekly, and then my vellum and acetate. And I just really like the way it looks. It's super pretty. God, look at all this deco. Jeez Louise.
Lots of sparkles.
Oh yeah. I went through some phases, let's say. Oh, and then here's my Hello 2020. I really thought 2020 was going to go a lot different than it did, though.
Didn't we all?
Yes. Yes. Oh, Lord.
How do you stick those?
What was that?
How do you stick those in? Is it just with some washi?
Oh, well, I actually think I have a highlight on my IG.
Ooh,
that
perfect.
So when you want to stick them in, I'm trying to think if I have the stuff to do it here for you right now. I don't have the tape. So what you do is you'll take the sheet. I put a little strip of tape at the top and at the bottom, and then I'll use anything with like a straight edge and stick it in so it's right in the crease.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back, I'll take one more piece of tape. I'll put it in the middle, and then you do the same thing. You just stick it in the crease, and then it just stays in there. Wow. And that's how I tip all of this in. Here, you might be able to see the tape. Yeah, there you go. So this shiny right here, there's the little strips of tape. And you can pretty much tip in anything you want. It's great. And it makes your notebook super chunky like this.
Mm-hmm.
Or like this one.
We'll definitely share that on our stories afterwards. I'm writing down a few of these things that you're mentioning so that we can share them for people to check out. So,
oh, wonderful. Yeah. Another type of planner that I've also used, this one is slightly different. It's the mini happy planner, but mine's like kind of adapted because it's like a bullet journal mini happy planner. And it's funny because I only used it for a little while. This is at the beginning of COVID when I started this. Mm-hmm. And it's cute because you can add in all this fun stuff. So these little dividers, some vellum, another divider. Yeah, so these are all from when quarantine just started.
Yeah.
So, and then, so this is my take on a mini happy planner, but kind of like a bullet journal at the same time.
Huh.
So a lot of pictures. And then here's a weekly.
And for your photos, I know one of your most recent YouTube videos is a review of some mini printers.
Yes.
Is that what you use for printing photos always?
Yes. Okay. So I brought all of my printers with me on this trip. This is my little favorite. This is one of my most used tools for journaling. It's a Canon Ivy, and it is what I print pretty much all of my photos with. I'm gonna show you a picture. So pretty much all of the photos that you see in my journals are the Canon Ivy. I have one in here. Hold on. I have a few that are the, okay. So this one is the Canon Selfie Square. So it's bigger. It prints a square photo as opposed to a 2x3 credit card size photo. This is also the Selfie Square. So they're larger, and I love that, but it doesn't always fit in my tiny planners, which I will usually gravitate towards. So the great thing, if you guys want to check out my my YouTube video, I go into a lot more detail about the sizes and the print quality of my mini printers. I did also bring with me my Fuji Instax camera. There it is. Which I love, but I have a hard time getting the colors to print exactly what I would like them to be. So that one I don't use as often, only for certain photos, like more artistic photos, of like scenery and stuff like that.
Cool. Do you have a lot of printers, or do you usually keep just one with you, the Canon Ivy?
So normally I would only bring my Canon Ivy, but this trip I decided to bring all 3 of them. So I have my Ivy, my Fuji Instax, and I also have the Selfie Square. I brought it, I thought I brought it. Here it is. And I have my Selfies. This one's bigger than the other 2, as you can see. So the Selfie Square, the Canon Ivy, and then the Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought all 3. I also have a thermal printer that I swear by. This is a Pulley printer, and it is, I use it for all of my little headers. I use it to print this. Let's see what else I use it for. So all of my headers are my Pulley printer because I have horrible handwriting. I can't. This is from the Pulley printer. Mm-hmm. I love it. You can also print photos with this. They will come out black and white, but you don't always need color. The black and white works just fine.
Yeah, I have one, the faux memo, I think.
So I have the faux memo as well.
For these ones. And yeah, they do come out a little more grainy.
Yeah, no, I have the faux memo as well. I prefer my Pulley printer though. I mean, they do the same exact thing. This one is my tried and true. I love it.
And so I guess we've gone into some tools. What other tools do you use for your planning? Okay,
so let's see. What else do I have? I have all kinds of stuff okay. So this is one of my favorite sticker books. I keep it in it's a Chic Sparrow standard size TN. And then I have a bunch of the sticker release paper inserts from Traveler's Company. I keep a bunch of my stickers in here.
I saw you wrote that in your planning for the live stream, and I'm curious to know more about sticker release paper. I haven't tried that before.
So I don't always bring my standard size sticker. This is the one I bring with me everywhere. This is a passport size. And basically it's just it's paper that has a coating on it. So you can stick your stickers to it from a sticker sheet. And then you can just put them on and you take them off. And it just makes it so much easier. So you don't have to carry around full sticker sheets anywhere. You can just put a few from each sticker sheet in your little insert, and it just works so well. And I adore these. I have a whole bunch of the sticker release inserts, but this is the one currently that I've just been bringing with me everywhere, and it goes right in my little pen case, and it fits perfectly.
Do you, as soon as you get a pack of stickers, do you transfer them there, or only?
I wish I could say that I do that. No, I usually wait months and months and months. And finally, when I don't even know what prompts me to do it, but eventually I will transfer them. Mm-hmm. So yes. And then, so this is fantastic. This is great. I love how easy it makes it. Also, I know you mentioned this earlier, my washi tape. Mm-hmm. So I had actually gotten this it's a card holder from a planner meetup that I went to before COVID and all that. My friend Trang Plans, I believe that's her IG handle, had given these out at a planner meetup, and it has been one of my favorite things. So I get washi cards, or little credit card sized things, and you just put your washi on them. I'm sorry about the glare, guys. And I have all of my favorites in here. And then these were so thoughtfully sent to me by some of my friends, because the Coffee Monster Co. washis sell out so quickly. I didn't have any, and my friends sent me some, which was so sweet. And then, oh my gosh, this glare. So I just have a bunch of my favorite washis in here.
That's so impressive. There's so many cool ideas. I've never seen this before either.
Really?
Great idea.
Oh my gosh. This is the best. It makes it so much easier to travel with, if you like decorating with washi. And I do, but I don't always use it, but I bring this with me just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I want to reach for some washi to use. Let's see, what else do I have okay. This is the best correction tape I have used. I had always used just the regular whiteout tape, but I had asked Lindsay Scribbles what she used, and she turned me on to this. It's the Tombow mono correction tape. This is the hybrid style. It is fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have like a 12 pack of these.
Can I just, it gave me a little laugh when I saw in your planning for the live stream, where you wrote correction tape, you actually used the correction tape, and I have, was that a mistake?
Oh yeah. Yes. I make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, can you see it? Oh, there we go. Yes. So I don't remember I think I spelled correct. I honestly, I don't even remember what I wrote. But yes, I did use the correction tape on it. Oh, that's so me. So another thing I like to have with me, just in case, because I never know when I'm going to have something to tape in. Oh, here, let me show you an example. I actually have an example in here. Okay. So I got a mug from my dear friend at Potter's Touch Pottery. And so check that out, guys, because her mugs are amazing. This was the
handmade?
tag that came. What was that?
Was it handmade?
Yes. Yes. They are my most favorite handmade mugs, Potter's Touch Pottery. And this little tag came attached to my new mug, and I wanted to tape it in. So I used the Tombow permanent adhesive tape roller. I love this stuff. It is fantastic. Oh, I also used this to tape in my March picture. Mm-hmm. So this is something I always have with me. These are like, everything that's in my pen case is stuff that I always, always, always have with me. My little scissors, oh God, now I can't get them open. There we go. My little travel scissors. These things are fantastic. Let's see. And then I have a bunch of, first my eraser. Then I have my Tombows. These I only carry with me my very most favorite colors. Let me get this out of the way. I'll move that. Of my Tombows. I have one from the Colors of the World. I really like this color. It's the deep rose. And then, I love this pen from Ferris Wheel Press, the Scribe pen. I don't always use it because it has a thicker line than I like to always journal with, but I do love to have it with me. I love the weight of it. Mm-hmm. It writes beautifully.
What's your go-to pen in like all of those journals? What do you use? Okay,
so I have used a bunch of different pens. One that I have loved and I was using forever was my F series. This is the Uniball F series. So you have a pencil, you have a red, and you have a black. So you just turn it and it gives you, so it's a multi-pen, see? And so it is phenomenal. But what I've done is I took the red out because I never used the red, and I just added another black. So I had double black, which was great. And then my pencil for when I want to sketch out my my layouts. Mm-hmm. This pen is fantastic. I love it. My only complaint is that so here, I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is with my F series. And then I just recently started using the Pilot Juice 0.38. So I believe the Juice is a gel pen. And then this is just like a regular ballpoint, the F series. So let me show you the difference. So this is with the Pilot Juice. So as you can see here, you know what? Let me do it like this. Okay. So as you can see, it's darker. So the line is slightly thicker, but it's darker, and I really like the way the darker black looks as opposed to this lighter kind of like blackish gray.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also find like the one that I use, I think usually if it's a ballpoint, it's a little bit less dark. Is one of them
Yes.
a gel pen?
Yeah, like I said, I believe that the Pilot Juice is a gel. Don't take my word for it. I am not a pen aficionado. I believe it is gel. So this is what I've been using, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I got turned on to this from, oh my gosh, I can't even remember her name. I can't remember, but somebody had mentioned this to me and I had to try it. So that's been my new fun pen. In my pen case, I also have this, Uni Pin Fine Liner. Oops, sorry. It's gray. It's like a light gray. And I like this. I like using this. I say that I like using it, but I haven't really used it yet for what I want to use it for. I would love to use it for, in the future, when I do my future logs and stuff, I'd love to use this for the lines. I feel like it would look really nice. Let me show you guys. So this is a light gray here. So these are all my Tombows that I use. And then here is the light gray.
That's so pretty.
It is.
Before with drawing lines, like with my spreads, I sort of keep a margin for the date, and I've used a white pen before to draw just so that I can see, and you can only see it when you like glint it in the light, but it's a way to know like where your line is farther down the page.
Yeah, I feel like this would also be really nice to use for like a monthly spread also. I really like that it's light and it doesn't overpower. So that's one that I always want to use and I forget. Let's see. I also have my fountain pens, which I really love. I don't use them as often, but you know what I use these for? Because I have pretty colored inks in them. I use them for my in my 5-year journal a lot. So that's what I use these for mainly. And I have the carousel pen from Ferris Wheel Press. I love this. I love the color too. It's like one of my favorite colors. I have the Pilot Kakuno. I think this is my extra fine. Nope, this is just the fine. I don't know if you guys can see the nib there.
Yeah.
And then I have the mini, what is this, a Twisby? I don't even know. But it's super cute. It's super tiny. I think this is an extra fine. It's pretty. And I like that. I love the clear bodies, as you can see.
Yes.
You can see the color of the ink, and I just love that. I think that's so cool.
Someone asked in the comments, and also the names of all of these things, we'll put them on the stories as well. I'll just send you a message after, Stacy, so we have the names, like the gray pen and stuff. But someone asked for the Tombows. Do you buy them individually or in sets?
I have done both. I have a ridiculous collection of Tombows. Let me see if I actually have. So yes, I have done both. I have bought the packages. So here's just. So that's all the Tombows I have. I feel like I have a whole bunch. So I have bought them individually and bought a bunch of packages. So I have a ton of them, but these are like my favorite. And here, I can show you guys. These are all the ones that I have. And these are the numbers also. Here, so you guys can see them. There we go.
Those are the ones you usually travel with?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all of the ones that that are right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we can post that as well after if anyone wants to grab those.
Yeah, I think I might actually, I think I have a picture on my IG feed with all of the, with all of them as well, with the numbers, I think. So the only other things that I have in my planner case, tools that I use, sometimes if I have a traveler's notebook, so one of these inserts, I like to use this to have it lay flat. And that always helps. And I have just clips and paper clips. Love these. So these are always floating around on the bottom of my pen case, just in case I need them.
Those are so cute. I love the gold like wire paper clips.
Yes. Yeah, I love these. And it's so funny because when I first started my planner journey, I couldn't stand gold. I literally could not stand it. And now I love it. It's very strange how you go through phases. Oh, one other thing that I always have is my tabs. So I don't usually carry this whole pack, but I did this time since we were coming up to South Carolina, just in case. I love the neutrals of these. I got these on Amazon, actually, and I really like these. So I thought they were just really pretty neutral colors. I think that is basically all of my tools that I usually carry with me. Oh, and I always have like an extra pack of paper for my insert or whatever.
All of these tools, I just saw the comment come up, and maybe in just a bit we can also take some of the questions in the question box. But one question was, where do you buy all of the supplies? Do you usually buy them in store or online?
Most of the time I just get them on Amazon. Amazon is great. I believe I have most of this stuff posted on my Amazon storefront. It's a link in my bio of my IG. So it's in the planner stuff section. So if you guys, want to take a look there, I'm pretty sure I have most of the stuff linked. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll share your bio as well.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Was there anything else you wanted to show here? Or I was thinking we could flip the camera back around and take some of the questions that are kind of about like what inspired you, stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Okay. That was also, I did a point that said, I feel like I'm being brought into a new world of stationery, because I feel the same way. I like some of these supplies I've never seen before, and it's so exciting.
Oh, I'm so excited that you guys can, I don't know, get something from this. But I've shared something that you haven't seen before. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, and at the very start, someone said that it was because of you that they started planning as well. So it's it's so cool to learn from you and see what's worked for you. I think it's been so helpful.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. This has made my day. This went much better than I had anticipated. I was so scared.
But it was very fun, so I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, and it definitely went awesome.
Yes, yeah, this was great. This is so much fun.
If anyone has questions, leave them in the question box. We'll take a few more now. So Stacy will answer some more. So are you able to see the questions, by the way? I don't think.
I can see some of them, but I don't know what order you're seeing them in. So I don't want to answer them in. We're so pretty. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you. Well, if you'd like, you can choose your questions that you want to answer. And I don't know if you can actually see all of them.
Oh, you guys are the best. You're so sweet. Hold on. I don't know if I can go back up with the questions, though. Oh, gosh. I can't even see them now.
Okay. It might just be me. I'll pin them then. So here's one of them that we sort of just answered, but where do you buy your supplies? You said Amazon. And
mostly on Amazon.
Well, including Tombows?
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, we'll share the link to your bio where people can shop the storefront.
Okay, great. Also, you can get Tombows, single Tombows. If you have just one color you really want to get, you can get them at Michael's. I know that. I've gotten some at Michael's as well. So
that's one of my favorite stores.
Oh yeah. I can't go often because I get it's like a rabbit hole, and I will literally just spend hours there. So I don't go often.
I just recently went back, like I mentioned, I'm on campus, so I kind of selectively choose what I bring, but whenever I go back home, I see like all of the supplies that I've collected over time, and it's crazy like how many just accumulate because I want to try different things. And I relate to what you said about going through phases. Like I've been through with crafting as well, not just planning, but you buy like charms to make bracelets, and then there's like a bunch of those in a pile somewhere in storage.
It's funny that you mentioned bracelets because, hold on. I have, oh my gosh, of course I can't reach them now. I've got a bunch of stuff for bracelets right here.
Are you them over the vacation?
Yeah. So I like to consider myself a crafty person. So I have tons. I've accumulated so much stuff, especially with sewing also. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. But it's all fun, so.
Here's another one. How do you come up with creative themes? So I guess maybe like even in your March monthly spread where you had sort of a theme going on with like the one photo and the washi tape, what usually inspires what you're going to use?
Honestly, if it catches my eye and it's pretty, I will use it. It really doesn't take much more than that. I don't really do themes right now, currently, in the journal that I'm using. Honestly, I love the idea of themes. I love it. I can't stick with it. I can't do a whole month with one theme. I can't. I've tried. It doesn't work for me. Like I need to be eclectic and take things here and there. Like maybe a week I could do a theme, but most of the time, especially currently, I don't really go with themes. I'm kind of all over the place.
I get usually do a whole theme for the month either, just for the monthly spread maybe. But
yeah.
Another one is, how do you make a good strategy? So I kind of left this one for last because it's a bit of a bigger one, I suppose. But how do you, like maybe for someone who's never done planning in an analog system before, how do you even start coming up with a strategy for your purpose?
Well, I did not start with any strategy, as you can see from some of my earlier notebooks. I just kind of, I winged it. I don't know. Okay, so I would just go with the.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, it paused because my phone's going to die. I had no structure at all in the beginning, basically because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I've now been in this community for a few years, and especially after reading the bullet journal method, it has really solidified how I want to plan and how organize my thoughts. I would suggest reading the bullet journal method to anybody. It was a great read. I found it to be super useful and informative about how I want to structure things and focus on things like what I find most important.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really helped me. So that's one thing that I would definitely recommend if you're starting out. For me, that's what worked for me.
The bullet journal method by Ryder Carroll, like the
Yep.
black. Okay. And another one, how to get inspiration. You know, for this question, I think it'd be cool. Have you ever gotten comments of people saying that they've started trying to plan or started trying to bullet journal and then they dropped off or they never kept up with it?
Yes.
So what do you usually say to that?
I say just write down everything in your day. Just write down everything that happens, no matter how mundane, how boring, anything that pops into your head. I write down everything. If I have a thought, I'll write it down. If I have time, that is. Which most of the time I do because I don't work. So I have time to, well, with Addie, it's not always that easy, but mostly I have time to, let me see if I can get my stand to work because my arm is killing me. All right. So hold on. There we go. Okay. So that's better. So I write down everything. Everything. I find that fun anytime I have a thought. And that's also what helps with the bullet journal method, because you have categories. You know, you can use a different icon for anything that you think. So if you have an idea, use an icon for an idea. If you want to journal something about how you're feeling, you just write down everything. That's what I do. I love it. And I love being able to go back and see literally what I was thinking the whole day. It's funny because yesterday I wrote down a whole bunch because I was sitting there wishing that I had my B6 that I had started earlier this year. And I was really upset that I didn't have it because I wanted to use it.
What is that for?
It's the same thing. Literally every notebook that I start, especially this year, has been the same exact thing, just in different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to move around. I like to switch. I don't always want to stay in the same notebook. I like different sizes. Like I said before, I really just go with what I'm feeling. If I want to change, I change. I can't just force myself to stay in a notebook that I'm not really feeling, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds so weird, but if I see something that really inspires me that somebody else is using and I'm like, oh my God, I really want to do that, I do it because I can't force myself to stay in something that I don't love. So
awesome. That's like, there's no point forcing yourself into certain rigid systems in your planning. You know, there's already lots of other things to follow a structure in. So with your planning, hopefully that's a place where you can explore and just have fun with it.
Well, exactly. I mean, a lot of people are always like, I see them, they'll message me on DMs and they're like, you know, I really want to finish this notebook, but I don't love it. I'm like, then don't use it. Switch. You don't need to do that. Go with what you're feeling, you know? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like, I don't know. I am flighty. I do like to change things and switch it up, but I just go with what my gut says about planning, you know?
Yeah. That's an awesome tip. And I think let's talk a little bit about some of those tips. One thing that you just reminded me of when you said that you write everything down is the tip I saw about writing down at the end of the day what you actually accomplished that day as well. So a lot of people start their day with a to-do list of like what I want to do that day. And then by the end of the day, if you've accomplished maybe just one thing off of that list, you feel dejected and like it hasn't been a productive day. And something I saw recently was to write down also at the end of the day, like what else have you accomplished? And that act of reflecting is really valuable because often you'll realize that you've actually done more than you thought you had. So that's something that I would suggest. Do you have any tips for planning and maybe also just like structuring your day, anything at all that you'd leave people with?
No, I really like that idea about the reflection though. That sounds really cool. Maybe I might even try that. I think that sounds great. I just try to get done one major thing that I need to do is what I'll try to do a day. You know, I don't know. Life's so short. You just want to just try to have fun with your planning and your journaling. Don't take it too seriously. You know, I know a lot of people really stress about it. I'm one of them. Sorry, this is kind of off topic. I apologize. I don't know if I actually really answered that question.
Oh, no, I mean, this is interesting. I'm curious what you say.
I was just going to say, uh-oh, hold on. There's something going on with my phone. There it goes. So I see so many people take it so seriously. Just enjoy it. Go with the flow. Do what you feel. If you want to have a really minimal spread, have a really minimal spread. If the next spread you want to do is super creative and just a mishmash of art, do it. Do it. This is your space to be you. You know, I mean, I feel like so many people get so caught up in the structure. especially on Instagram. You can really get sucked in and see everybody else's stuff, and you want to be like that. But just be you. Do your own thing. You know, that's just my 2 cents about that. I know you didn't even ask that, but
I think that's a really well-needed tip for a lot of people also like sharing their photos of their bullet journals online. And that's one thing that drew me to your account in particular, that you kind of, even the style of your photos, it's almost just a snapshot in time, you know, just what's in front of you on your desk.
yeah.
And that's also like something to remember, like it should be functional. It should be supporting you rather than a source of stress. I think that's what.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So you just make it work for you. You don't work for it, you know? And if it's not serving you, don't use it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's all of the questions that we had. Like, I think we've gone through most of them. So I'm going to chat with you after so we can share a bunch of these links on our stories. So if you're watching and you didn't catch like the name of something in particular that you wanted to check out, take a look at our stories. We'll link everything there, and check out Stacy on her Instagram and YouTube. Do you want to share what the handles are there again, and where else, anywhere else people can find you?
So yeah, it's Stacy's Plans. It's Stacy's Plans on YouTube. I just created that TikTok, so I don't know if I'm actually going to use the TikTok, but go follow me. So in case I need to do another live stream, I have followers. It's Stacy's Plans. It's all Stacy's Plans.
Perfect. And is there anywhere else? Do you have like any other platforms that you'd share? Those are the main ones?
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Stacy, for joining us, and everyone for watching. And the topic I saw someone ask was about planning strategies. I definitely learned a ton, and also about planning tools. Lots to look online now and see. So thanks again.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I really appreciate it.
It was so much fun as well, and have a wonderful time in South Carolina.
Thank you.
Bye, Stacy.
Bye.